Venezuelan officials say President Nicolas Maduro is unharmed after an alleged assassination attempt. Maduro was speaking at a military event when the incident involving explosive drones happened. You can see the leader physically startled during his speech before being shielded by guards. Maduro says authorities have captured some of those responsible for what he is calling an attack. He said right-wing factions within Venezuela, along with people in Colombia and Miami, were behind it. Matt Cole from our partners at the BBC reports.
Addressing crowds with a speech on the economy, with his wife alongside, Nicolas Maduro was unexpectedly interrupted. All eyes looked up, seeking out the source of the two loud bangs. Set out in precision formation, the National Guard had been listening to their leader. But look to the right of the screen. After the bangs, a handful break ranks, followed by a stampede for cover. It's claimed two drones exploding above were the source of the panic. Later, and clearly furious, President Maduro laid the blame for what he termed an attempted assassination.
I've no doubt that everything points to the right, to the Venezuelan ultra-right, in cahoots with the Colombian ultra-right, and the Colombian president is behind this attack.
Colombia denies any involvement, and by contrast to his leader, Venezuela's communications minister has blamed his president's right-wing opponents for the alleged attack. With investigations now underway, so much remains unclear, including suggestions the drones were shot down before reaching their target. A little-known group called Soldiers in T-shirts has claimed on social media that it was behind it. But with Venezuela's leader painted by opponents as a ruthless despot who detains political rivals on trumped-up charges, some are questioning whether this will be used to justify further clampdowns. President Maduro's allies, Cuba and Bolivia, have condemned the incident. US officials say the White House is monitoring the situation closely, but added no further comment. Matt Cole, BBC News.
Anna Herrero is a freelance journalist. She's in the country's capital, Caracas, and joins me now by phone. Anna, why does Nicolas Maduro believe this was an attempt to kill him?
Hi, Elaine. Thanks for having me. Well, the drone exploded real near him, and according to official investigations, this was an assassination attempt. That's what the president said yesterday, just hours after the attack. At first, it was really, there was a lot of confusion going on. We saw on TV a lot of military running around, and then the communications minister said that immediately, he said this was a terrorist attack against Nicolas Maduro's life. He has believed to be a target since pretty much since he got on power after Hugo Chavez died. So he's blaming, and he has blamed for over years now, the United States and Colombia to try to kill him and try to attack him and to do several things against his life and against others from the government. This is not the first time we hear this, but it is the first time that we see this so clearly on national television.
Well, Maduro went so far as to call out Colombia's president, Juan Manuel Santos, by name. Why does he think the leader of another country is responsible?
Well, analysts say that it's really irresponsible for him to just blame another president, and even Colombia released a statement saying that Juan Manuel Santos has no interest or whatsoever in ending anyone's life. But he apparently thinks that Juan Manuel Santos is his enemy, and he thinks he is a target of the U.S. and of Colombia. Let's remember that after a couple of years, after decades of good relationships between Colombia and Venezuela, this changed a couple of years ago, and now Colombia is really close to the United States. And let's remember that also Maduro has a feeling of he thinks of the United States as an enemy, as someone that wants to attack him, that wants to kill him, the same way Hugo Chavez did. But this closeness of both countries, Colombia and the United States, maybe that's the hint taking to say such things.
Well, Venezuela has already been a country on edge with waves of political and economic crises. Are authorities expecting this incident to cause more violence and unrest?
Well, experts say that this might be an excuse for the government to, go with more repression, to violate more human rights. But it hasn't happened so far. This just happened yesterday. So we don't really know what's going to happen the next week and the next month. Let's remember this month, the government is going to apply new economic measures that experts say will affect negatively the people in Venezuela. So other analysts are saying that maybe this is the excuse to, to eradicate any protest after this economic measures.
All right, a lot of uncertainty. Anna Herrero in Venezuela for us. Anna, thanks very much.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.